Hello all. Every year we keep getting queries like when should I start preparation for my CAT? When should I join a classroom course or a online course for preparation? When should I take the first mock? Should I start taking mocks right away when they are released, or should I take it at the fag end so that I get enough practice at the end? How many mocks should I take before going to the actual CAT? Through this video, we aim to answer all those queries that you may be having at the back of your mind if you're aiming at CAT 2021. And we'll begin with a very famous quote from a very famous scientist in the field of data science, William Edwards Deming. And the quote goes like this: "In God we trust, all others must bring data." And guess what? We have brought data to substantiate our answers for the questions that you may have. So let's take a look at what we have done. We have gone ahead and analyzed the data of the performances of our students who had enrolled with us for CAT 2020 across various courses. And the results are as follows. So, number one question: when is the best time to start your preparation? Let's take a look at the data of the super toppers of CAT 2020. What we mean by the super toppers here is people who have actually scored more than 98 percentile in CAT 2020. When is it that they have joined us? And you can see that among all the 98 percentilers, 98 plus percentilers we had, 65% of them, 65% of them joined us as early as January, February, and March. Now, this is a very common question that people keep asking me, that how many months of preparation is actually required for CAT? Well, data suggests 8 to 9 months is probably the best time to prepare for CAT. Time in hand that you need to have to prepare for CAT. While there are also people who have joined in as late as April, May, and June and have still cracked more than 98 percentile. But you can see that a substantial amount of people, substantial percentage or fraction of people who have scored more than 98 percentile have joined in the months of January, February, and March. So if you're still thinking, when should I join? Join now. When is the best time to write your first mock test? So let's take a look at the data of the top performers and compare it with non-performers in CAT 2020. For this, what we have done is we have gone ahead and compared people who have scored more than 90 percentile to people who have scored in the range of 50 to 90 percentile. So 90 plus is what we term here as performers. So let's take a look at the data that follows. And guess what? More than 70%, roughly approximately 70% of the toppers, of the students who have scored more than 90 percentile in the actual CAT had started taking their first mocks as early in the months of April, May, and June. Well, April is just about to come, and March, you can see that a good 3 to 4% of people who have scored more than 90 percentile have also started giving their mocks in the month of March. So this is probably the best time that you start taking your mocks seriously. By the way, the first Master Series mock of Career Launcher has already released, and there are and on the 27th of this month, on the 27th of March, we are conducting an All India Open mock, and that is a chance you might not want to miss out on, to judge yourself, to see where you stand as compared to the competition in one of the closest tests to CAT. And again, if you see percentage of mocks attempted by toppers and non-toppers, and percentage of mocks attempted in the months, you see that the toppers have attempted more mocks in the month of April and May. In the month of April and May together, they have attempted roughly 45 to 50% of the mocks that were available to them. And if you see the non-toppers woke up late, probably. They started attempting more mocks in the month of June. So April, May is probably the best time to start taking your mocks very, very seriously. Do toppers write more mocks on an average? Let's again compare the data that we have. Let's look at the different type groups of performers based on actual CAT scores. And guess what? People who have scored 70 to 75 percentile in CAT, the average number of marks taken by them is only 14. And people who have scored in 95 to 100 percentile range have actually gone ahead and taken 22 to 23 marks on an average. And also, if you see people at a 90 to 95 percentile range in the CAT have taken roughly 20 marks before actually going to the CAT. So this data substantially is telling me one thing that is for sure, that your success is probably a function of the number of marks that you are going to take. And more important than taking the marks, it is very important that you also look at the attempts that we provide, look at the analysis that we provide, analyze each mark. A good 2 hour 3 hour mark will require a good 4 hour 5 hour analysis. I hope we have been able to answer most of your queries about when and how through this video. We'll keep bringing more data driven insights to you. Stay tuned.